There's only really two candidates. There are actually others. I mean, there's the Green Party of America. There's another, is it a Libertarian? But broadly speaking, it's the Democrats or it's the Republicans. Donald John Trump, American businessman, politician, personality. He served as the 45th President of the United States from 2017, born in New York, married 3 times, a ton of kids, and worth billions. Or Kamala Harris, Kamala Devi Harris, born back in the 60s, an American politician, who's been the 49th and current Vice President of the US, served under Joe Biden, of course. She is the nominee for the Democrats. She is the highest ranking female official in US history as a result of that. Married once, 2 stepkids, personal fortune about 30 quid. But that's the choice. America are making that choice. I would hate to be, it was bad enough being a Brit when we had our election in July, if you look at, broadly speaking, what we were facing. This would be the mother of all dilemmas, right? You've got Donald Trump. I don't know how many accusations of all manner of things are against this guy. This is a guy who, objectively, is probably not a nice bloke, OK? I'd imagine Donald Trump is not a nice bloke. And you know what? I don't really care about him not being a nice bloke. I'm not that bothered. I don't care if my dentist is not a nice bloke, as long as he's a good dentist, right? So in that respect, he might be not everybody's cup of tea. People will have their own ideas of his additional proclivities, some of his background. But he does seem to sort of have an idea. Now, I don't know whether I've been conned like lots of other people. Politicians are very good at this. They create a lot of mood music. They say a lot of... They talk in a lot of sound bites. They sound casual while saying controversial things. And you sort of extrapolate from that. Well, this guy's really good. You know, he means business. He's going to stand up to this. He's sort of created a character of Donald Trump. And the top end, if you like, the top tier of his fan base is very cultish, who buy into that. I'd like to think most of us here are a little bit more discerning when it comes to working out the cut of someone's jib, whether they are someone to be trusted, whether they're somebody who's going to be good. But I do believe he, broadly speaking, has an overarching sort of vision of what America could be and what the world might look like. I genuinely believe that of Trump. So he gets a house point or two in that respect. Kamala Harris, I mean, if you lived next door to Kamala Harris, I'm pretty sure she'd put your bins out if you asked her to. And she'd, you know, give a little sweep up in the yard if you were on holiday. I get all of that, but I have literally no idea what is the kind of philosophical soul of Kamala Harris, what she sort of stands for, what we can imagine a world might look like under President Harris. It doesn't... the more I think about it, the less I think I know. This is an empty vessel. This is sort of very vacuous character. And even Democrats, up until about half an hour ago, didn't really know anything about Kamala Harris. She was there because the ticket at the time was Biden and Harris. He said, I'm going to have a woman working with me. And that, many believe, was the thing that took him to it was a more harmonious ticket for middle America. But I have no idea what she stands for. What I'm intrigued about, really speaking, bearing in mind these people aren't going to be our leader, but they are the leader of the free world, if you like. Which one of those two is best for Britain? 0344 499 1000. Just think about what you know, and to varying degrees, some of you would have done a lot of homework on these people and looked into the details. Others, you might have got your news from Twitter, in which case you will most probably have the greatest list of inaccurate stories you could imagine. But if they feed into what you believe, whether you're a Harris supporter or a Trump supporter, you'll believe them. That's how the new world works these days. You know, we factor in, we compound our own biases, and we then feed that bias with more bias. It's just sort of the world that, unfortunately, the journey of travel, which is why in about 20, 30 years' time, this planet will be thicker than it ever has been in its history. And I genuinely mean that. But that's where we're at. Who will be best for Britain of those two leaders?